Hi, this is Sue, and we are working on homework number 1. It is from chapter 10 of section 5 in the textbook, page 530 and 531, and we got 8 through 15. So today in class, we calculated the area of surfaces of a 3D shape. So what we're going to be doing is calculating the surface area of a shape. Now, the area of 3D shapes have several surfaces, and so if I add up all the areas of the surfaces in a 3D shape, that would be your surface area. So keep that in mind. So let's start with number 8. Number 8, the picture drawn out for you is already everything laid out flat. So the shape that we're going to get when we put it all together would actually end up to be what? Well, because I see 6 rectangles, I know that 2 of the rectangles would act as my bases. So there would be 2 rectangle bases, and that would make 2 rectangular lateral faces, totaling these 6 rectangles. So it would look something like this when it is all put together from this knit of the rectangular prism. So this is a rectangular prism. But let's look at each of the pieces here. What we're going to do is find the area of each rectangle. So let's first look at the one at the top. The length and the width is what I need, and the length of the bottom is indicated by the 2 centimeters at the bottom, because that length here is the same as that length right here. So the length is 2, and the width would be up here, which is that 1 centimeters, and that is 1 times 2, which is 2. So the area of that rectangle is 2 centimeters squared. So this is 2 centimeters squared here for that rectangle. Now I want to find the area of this square down here. It looks like a square. This square is 2 centimeters in length, and the height would be 2 centimeters. And it's indicated by this 2 centimeters over here because all of these lengths that I'm showing you here are 2 centimeters. So 2 times 2 would equals to 4 centimeters squared. So that's the area of that square. Then I find the area of this rectangle here, and this rectangle also has a 1 centimeter down here, and this again is 2 centimeters, so that's 2 times 1, which is 2 centimeters squared. Then I'm going to find the square here. Now, as you'll notice, the square is actually the same square that I found the area over here on the left, which is going to be 4 centimeters squared. The rectangle, I'm going to find the rectangle down here. This rectangle is going to be the same as the other green rectangle that I had highlighted over there, which is also 2 centimeters squared, because it's 2 centimeters multiplied by the 1 centimeters, since 1 centimeters is indicated right here as the length for this rectangle here and the length for this rectangle right here. So this last rectangle is going to be also a 2 centimeters by 1 centimeters, so it is also 2 centimeters squared. Okay, then I'm going to add all of those up, and that's going to give me 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. If I take all the 2's together, that makes 8, and the 2 4's also make an 8. So now my final answer for the surface area will equal to 16 centimeters squared. My area of all the surfaces for my rectangular prism added up to 16 centimeters squared. Let's try number 11. Number 11, what I see here is a triangle, another triangle back here, and then a couple of rectangles. So I see 2 triangles, plus I see 3 rectangles. So what I want to do is I want to find the area of each triangle first. So let's take these triangles. Let me highlight that for us here. So we've got a triangle here and a triangle here. Okay. Now the formula for triangle is half of base times height. So the base and the height of the rectangle is 6 centimeters by 8 centimeters. So I'm going to do half of 6 times 8, and half of 6 times 8 is half of 48, which makes 24. Okay, now since there's 2 triangles, I want to multiply that by 2. So 2 times 24 actually gives me 48 centimeters squared. That's for the 2 triangles. Now I want to find the area of the 3 rectangles. So I'm going to take 3 rectangles. The area of rectangles is length times width. Now it doesn't mean that every rectangle is going to be the same length and width. So I do want to be careful that I don't just take any length and width and multiply, because it is going to be a little bit different. Back here. Okay, so length times width. So one of the length times the width would be this. Let's take the rectangle here on the very right. The length and the width would be the bottom right here, which is indicated by 15 centimeters, and then the length here is going to be the 10 centimeters. So it's going to be 10 times 15. That's 150. Then I'm going to add my second rectangle. Let's take the rectangle that's in the back here. Okay, that rectangle in the back is going to be length, width. So the bottom down here is the same as this length over in the front here, which is 15 centimeters. Okay. And then the width is the 6 centimeters indicated here. So it's going to be 15 times 6. 15 times 6 is equal to 90. And then I'm going to find my last one. Let me use this green highlighter here. The last one is at the bottom. So the base and the height, or the length and the width of that triangle down there, rectangle down there, is going to be length, width. Length, width. So it's going to be the 8 centimeters, and the width is going to be the 15 centimeters. So that's 8 times 15. 8 times 15 is the same as 125. Okay, so now I have those 3 rectangles here, and I'm going to add them all up, which makes 275 plus 90, 365. So 365 centimeters squared. So now I have this 3 rectangles. I'm going to also add the 2 triangles on top of that. So I'm going to add them together. That should give me a grand total for my surface area of this triangular prism as 413 centimeters squared. That is my surface area. This shape is a triangular prism. Okay? Alright, we're going to do one more question here, and we'll do number 15. 15, there's no visual picture, so it's a little harder, so I want to choose that one. We can draw a square prism. So I can draw 2 squares. Oh, that doesn't look like much of a square. There, that's a little better. So I'm going to draw 2 squares and connect those vertices and those corners of the squares together. It tells me that the base edges, since the bases are the squares, the square base, since it's a square prism, then the sides are 7 meters by 7 meters. It's a square. They're the same length. And then the height is 15. So this height is going to be 15 centimeters. Okay? So we're going to calculate the area. Now, first, I want to find the area. There's 2 squares, and they are identical. So I'm going to multiply 2 times the area of the square. The area of the square is 7 times 7. So 7 times 7. So 2 times 49 is going to give me 98 centimeters. Whoops, this is in meters. Meters squared. I accidentally used centimeters when I meant meters. It's important that it wasn't in meters. Okay, then I want to find the area of the rectangles. Now, all of these 4 rectangles, are they the same length and width for the 4 rectangles? So there's one on the top, there's one below it, and there's some to the side. Are all of these lengths and widths of the rectangles the same? 4 rectangles. They actually are. Okay, if I were to actually draw it out like this, as a net, you would see 4 of the same rectangles and 2 of the square bases. 7, 7, 7, 7. These would all be 15, 15, 15, 15 centimeters, meters, meters, meters in height. Okay, so my rectangles are going to be 7 times 15, and there's 4 of them, so 7 times 15 times 4. That will give me 15 times 7 is 105. 105 times 4 is 420. So that's 420 meters squared. That's for the 4 rectangles. So then I'm going to add them both up, which is going to give me 420 times 98, 518 meters squared. That is my surface area of this square prism. Alright, do the best as you can on the other questions. Remember to use the correct area formulas for each shape. Go back to the bell work that we did when we reviewed the areas. And I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure that if you didn't finish gluing together your shapes today, that you do finish that for homework and bring it to class. You will not be marked down for turning it in tomorrow, but you do want to turn it in by tomorrow and no later so that you can get credit for it.